This is the Healthy Business Podcast, the show for ambitious business owners who want to grow and scale in a healthy way. I'm Sarah Cook, and I'll be sharing with you tips, inspiration, and proven methods from leading business experts, entrepreneurs, and health and wellness professionals to help you grow your business with more income and having more impact, but in a way that works for you. Because when you have clarity and strategy, you can achieve the results you want. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Healthy Business Podcast. It is Sarah Cook with you today. I am going to be talking about something that's going on quite relevant at the moment within the media, and it is kind of getting on my grill. So I thought I would bust some myths about the apparent cost of living and the economic crisis, and the excuses that I think business owners are making around this, and actually why I think we should be increasing our prices. And I'm going to share with you how you can do that. So what I wanted to do really was kind of talk about these myths, because we're hearing so often in the media, we're hearing so many excuses that people are not buying right now. And I want to bust that myth because I've had my best ever quarter in my business, and my clients are smashing it right now. They are increasing their prices. They are becoming fully booked. They're selling out programs. They are selling out their new products. So there is so many opportunities out there if you are open to them and if you are looking in the right places. Now, if we take for a minute what is happening in the world, of course, we know that there are increasing costs on certain things. However, there are also other trends that are going on. People are not commuting to work in the same way. They are worried about traveling abroad. That means they have more disposable income to spend in the way that they choose, because they're not spending it on the travel costs to work. They're not spending it on travel costs abroad. And there's other things that they are not spending on as well. So there's a huge myth that we can bust right now that people don't have money. And of course, it is going to affect everyone in different ways. But I think thinking about the sort of the broad, message that people can't afford to buy things is not right. And as a business owner, we really need to be mindful of what we listen to and what we choose to act on and how we can look for opportunities. Now, I've talked a lot about mindset in previous episodes, and I really wanted to encourage you to think about how you can optimize your business, why I think you need to be charging higher prices. And I'm also going to share with you 4 ways that you can do right now to turn your audience into paying clients. So one of the big myths that I hear is people saying that there aren't clients in their niche that are going to pay for high ticket prices. And I thought the same. And it took me a really long time to get to the point of changing my mindset, I guess, that people were not in my audience. And then the penny dropped. And I want to share with you a story, because I had a monthly membership and the cost of it was £35 a month. So super cheap, right? To work with me was only £35 a month. Yeah, I had people cancelling every single month. And every time that someone did cancel, I would question whether they were so broke that they couldn't afford it, or maybe that my membership wasn't good enough. So maybe I needed to add in a whole load more information and trainings for them. But you know what? I was so wrong. And when I spoke to my own business coach about this, and she said to me, do you know what? Remember, as a coach, you're not selling information, you're selling a transformation. And this is what our audience want. They want the results, they want the transformation. And they're not going to get what they really desire from your membership. So what I did was put together a higher ticket mastermind coaching program and offered that to my audience. Now, I was really worried about this because I kept thinking, gosh, this is totally bonkers. People can't afford it. Like, if they're going to cancel £35 for a membership, who's ever going to buy this? And what I did was focused on the transformation. And I focused on that transformation that they would get by following the program that I was leading. And I knew that they could get the results that they wanted. So the crazy thing that really blew my mind, and is something that is happening exactly the same within my audience as well, and my clients when they're shifting how they're charging for things, I ended up selling my group coaching mastermind programs for between £1,500 and £12,000. And some of those people who'd cancelled the £35 membership, which I naively assumed was because they couldn't afford it, ended up paying for this investment, so up to £12,000 in full, to work with me. So the next time you're questioning whether you have people in your audience that are willing to pay for a premium price, definitely use my story as evidence that you do. Now, I'm not saying that memberships are the wrong thing to do. I'm saying that you need to look at what your audience is looking for and how you communicate with them, because it comes down to the energy, it comes down to the language that you use to attract them. And I know that you're looking to get to your next level. And how we do that is about turning your audience into paying clients. And if you want to have premium clients, if you want to have those higher prices, then I'm going to share with you 4 ways that you can do this. First of all, I want you to check your offerings. Check what you are offering is actually what your audience want. And I really want you to go into this. I really want you to sense check it. The world has changed so much in the last couple of years. So, asking your audience, that active listening, making sure that what you're offering is actually what they want. Your program needs to deliver that and what they need, but actually understanding what they want, because that enables you. And this moves on to my next point, is that you need to be polarizing with your content. You really need to be speaking directly to that person who will pay for the higher priced ticket item, whether it's a product, whether it's a service. You want your content to be polarizing. Now, I don't mean that this needs to be unkind. I don't mean this needs to be aggressive. This is about polarizing. This is about really talking directly to your dream client. Because when we do that, you will get messages saying, and the same things happen to me, I feel like you're in my head. You are talking directly to me. And even though I haven't been talking directly to them, they felt that because the content has been so specific that it's been polarizing. It's really spoken to either their pain point, their emotional needs, or their aspirations. Like, what are they trying to achieve? What are the results that they're looking for? Now, that brings me on to my third point, is you really need to talk to the results and the benefits. So many people that I see talk about the features. No one cares about the features, unfortunately, as much as we would like them to be. No one cares about it. So, whether it's your products, whether it's your services, I want you to talk to the results and the benefits. So, a completely unrelated example, if I want to put a picture on the wall, that's my end goal. I want it to be straight, I want it to look good. I don't really mind what size drill bit it is, what brand drill bit I go for. I don't care what, how it looks or where it looks. I really want that result to be that beautiful picture on the wall in the right place without causing damage to the wall. So that is talking to the results. I want content. If someone can talk to me like that, that is making it simple, making it easy, that I'm going to get that end result that I want, then that's who I'm going to go with. So I really want you to think about that within your content, that you are talking to the results. Talk to the benefits, talk to the tangible things that your client, your customers are going to get from buying your products and services. How's it going to make them feel? What are they going to be able to do? I want you to think about that so what question. You can talk about all sorts of things, but you need to think about that so what. Why is that interesting to that person that could be about to buy your product or your service? Ask yourself that so what. So every single piece of content that you're putting out there, whether it's a sales post, whether it's a sales page, anything that it is, because any piece of content is ultimately a marketing or a sales piece of content that's going to speak to your audience. You want to be talking to results and benefits. So ask yourself that so what. Get into the minds of your reader and ask yourself so what. And if you can't understand it, then your audience is not going to understand it. So we've talked about making sure that your offerings are exactly what your ideal client's wanting. You need to be polarizing with your content. You need to talk to the results and the benefits, and then ultimately ask for the sale. Have that call to action. Now, this doesn't need to be in an icky way. Quite often when we talk about sales, people get a little bit nervous. It doesn't need to be done in an icky way or in an uncomfortable way. No one likes to be sold out all the time. So think about what feels good for you, what feels comfortable for you. But by the time you've done that content that is polarizing, you've talked to the results and the benefits, the sale piece, the actual getting them to take action, is actually the easier piece because they've already said yes to themselves by reading your content. So if you can talk to them, show that you understand how they're feeling, how they want to feel, show that empathy, show that you are that best person or have that best product and service that's going to help them get the results that they're looking for, it becomes a no-brainer for that sale. So that becomes a lot easier for you to then charge that level of investment that you are looking for. So the energy that you have, the language that you're using, you want to talk to that dream client. You want to talk to that person who gets it, who you actually want to attract. This isn't about somebody at a low level. This is about someone who is willing to pay to get the results. Because when people pay, they pay attention. So if you are doing a bit of work around your business and you're sense checking things, you're looking at optimizing your products and services, I really want you to consider how you increase the prices, but also how you do it. Yes, of course, you can increase your prices and put it out there. But if you're not talking to the right people that are actually going to buy that, and you're going to give them the reason to believe and the reason to buy, it's still going to stay as unsold. So, thinking about the excuses that we come up with, right back to what I shared at the beginning, busting those myths about the apparent cost of living and economic crisis and the impact of that on your business. There are opportunities everywhere. Similarly, when we had COVID and we had the pandemic, that took people into two separate camps. It was either those people who went, you know what, the world is falling to pieces, my business is over. The other side of the camp was those successful business owners that were willing to evolve, that were willing to look at what their ideal clients needed and put out a product and service that supported that and spoke to them to show them how it helped them. So that's really what I want you to consider this week in this episode is, are you telling yourself an excuse that people can't pay? Or actually, are you not talking to people in the right way? Or do you not have the right products and services that are supporting what your ideal clients need right now? So I would encourage you to think about this. I would also love to hear your thoughts. So drop me a message at Sarah Cook Coaching. Let me know your thoughts, whether this is resonating with you. So whether it's on Facebook or on Instagram, drop me a message over on Sarah Cook Coaching. I would love your thoughts on this. I cover a little bit more about this in my book as well, about how you can charge higher prices, the importance of charging higher prices and how to do that. So if you want more information, then grab a copy of my book, head across to sarahcookcoaching.com/book, and you can get yourself a copy of my #1 best-selling book on Amazon. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you have had a little bit of a light bulb moment, or maybe it's given you a bit of a food for thought as to what we are telling ourselves when we're reading the press, when we are looking at the media. And I think the other myth that I wanted to bust, actually, that's happened fairly recently was the fear and the scaremongering around the weather in the UK. I live in the UK, and the press that I was seeing about the fear that people were creating around how hot it was. And yes, it was hot, but let's think about the mindset behind that. Let's think about what we can do rather than the stuff we can't do. One of the things that I put into my group, Supercharge Your Sales on Facebook, was we reframed that. We had a whole thread on why the heat was brilliant. And the feedback on there was just amazing. And it really helped reframe how, when we hear something, when we start believing it, that changes our emotions, it changes our energy, it changes how we show up to people, and that affects your audience as well. So if you're showing up in the best possible version of yourself, if you've got the right language, that it's talking to your audience in the right way, the energetics of success is incredible. So showing up in a positive way, busting those myths, talking to your audience in the right way, talking to the results, the benefits, polarizing your content to show that you understand your audience and what's going on for them, making sure that you've got your offerings that are actually what your audience want, means that you will be able to charge higher prices because you are that expert. You know what they need and you can show them how to get it. So I hope this episode's been useful. I will see you on the next one, and I can't wait to hear from you in my direct messages at Sarah Cook Coaching, either on Instagram or on Facebook. I will see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Healthy Business Podcast. To get your free checklist with 1-minute hacks to accelerate your business and find out more about our community, head to my website, sarahcookmarketing.com/healthy business.